Just got back to the UK today, so jet lagged, slept for a few hours, and I was in bed, of course, didn't want to get out of bed. Now the last time I got back to the UK, horrible, worst time I think ever, broken, crying, whatever, distraught, tried sleeping, couldn't really, my mind was going so mad, even though I was exhausted, and I just thought, I can't go on like this, it's been over a month, and I'm not getting any better. This is not progress. Real bad time. Anyway, I got back this time, I'm in bed, and I wasn't anywhere near that bad. I've been watching Game of Thrones, but I don't have TV, don't have Sky, so I was going to go to my parents, but I said I'll go next week because I couldn't be bothered today. But I mean, it's finished now, and I thought, well, I don't want to risk seeing any spoilers, even logging into my YouTube, things come up on the side. And then thinking about Game of Thrones, I then suddenly remembered again, I'd forgotten the Rammstein album, and I thought, well, hang on a minute, I've got all this stuff, John Wick's out of the cinema, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to have a jam-packed couple of days. So I just thrown some stuff in a little rucksack, and I'm just decided to get on a train, go to my parents. I'm going to watch Game of Thrones. Tomorrow then, I'll come back, I will watch John Wick at the cinema. Oh, and I downloaded the Rammstein album before I went, and I've already listened to half of it, and I love it. Then tomorrow, get home, go to the gym. Next day, gym in the morning, John Wick in the day, edit YouTube video. And that's going to be a busy 2 days and a half. But I thought, I'm just going to do as much as I can, everything I would want to do, even if I don't want to do it. And then as I was packing my bag, I just thought, why don't I take my camera? So I'm going to do a couple of days now, just jam-packed distraction. Progress. I might let the diet go when I go home to my parents, because my mum's probably going to try and feed me. Black coffee with one sweetener to wake up. I've got a packet of ham and an apple to eat on the train. And I've got Rammstein to listen to. Bradley's couple of jam-packed distraction days, going through the motions, but forcing myself to be Bradley. So listening to the Rammstein album, my limited German I know, already I picked up on something. There's a song that says something like, "What I love must die." I've never wished any pain on anyone, especially death, but what I mean is that this fantasy idea sort of just made me think, this fantasy thing I invented that I thought I loved, this make-believe life, I have to let that die. It doesn't exist, it never existed. So what I loved, I have to let that die. God, well done Rammstein. It's a full train, by the way, I feel sorry for the person next to me. London calling. It's Big Ben. Big Ben. That ruined my video. Everyone else is just on a train. I'm at a Rammstein concert. Swap seats. I wanted a window. Home. Bum 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 bum. Let's watch the last 3 episodes of Game of Thrones. Why have they got A Star Is Born on Blu-ray at the bottom of the TV there? I do not want to see that. Game of Thrones. I'm going to eat every fucking chicken in this room.
Burritos, because they need to be on a higher heat than the burritos. Your nachos are coming, babe.
So here with my family, watching the last 2 episodes of Game of Thrones now, and I'm going to have a drink in celebration. So this is the first time I've done a YouTube journey and sort of ruined it with the alcohol. That 6 months no alcohol, it's gone out the window. But I'm in a, not like I say in a happy place, I'm happy thinking about drinking, but I'm in a good place. This is like the end of Game of Thrones, us watching that, enjoying an evening, having nachos, cornettos, snacks in front of the TV for one night with my family, watching the end of Game of Thrones, which I'll never be able to do again in my life. That's a good night. I'm not going to let this external breakup thing take that away from me. You can say, oh, I'm making up excuses or rationalising having a drink or whatever. I'm feeling alright here. I'm feeling nice. Let's watch the end of Game of Thrones. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. last night I had a drink watching Game of Thrones, so I had 2 drinks watching the end of Game of Thrones. That's not a Trailer Park Boys thing, I did actually have 2 drinks with my family. So I have failed essentially for the first time ever at any sort of weird alcohol-free journey I've set. Strangely, I'm not racked with guilt. I'm not in a place where I think, oh, I don't care, it doesn't matter, in that mindset, but I also am not, say, worried about expectations. I'm glad I haven't drank for the past few weeks when I've been in my really low places, and when I've been away, I'm glad I had the strength to not drink then, but then I'm glad that I had the strength to say, hang on a minute, I'm with my family, this is a nice time, I'm going to have what I want and not regret it and not worry about it. And I did. And I sat here thinking about something I was going to say, because I had to sort of address it, obviously, because I've stopped this journey now. Not this physical, mental recovery journey, but just said the 6 months no alcohol. So I didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to tell you. But this is about honesty and me and enjoying this journey, and I wouldn't feel right and I couldn't do that. So I, of course, had to say something. There'll be a physical transformation still in 6 months. Maybe even I will throw in a month with alcohol, a month without alcohol, a month with alcohol, a month without alcohol. Who knows how I'll figure out how I'll do it. And so having that good drink with my family and not when I was away and low, I feel fine and good with that. I was going to go back to mine, watch John Wick and go to the gym, but today, because I've got countryside around me, I'm going to go for a 12-mile hike. And it's a sunny day, I've got a shorts, t-shirt, I am just buzzing to walk and be at peace. I'm not dwelling on things that have happened. And I thought that this morning. I woke up and felt pleased, proud. It was a good feeling waking up. I was with my family, things like that as well bring you up, so it could be that. And then I thought, oh, I'm not sad. And then I thought about the relationship. And then I started to feel like I might be sad. And that really highlights that there's thinking about issues and dealing with them and moving on, and then there's dwelling and torturing yourself and thinking about it. And it was powerful to think that I was consciously trying to think about that, because up until this point it's been totally beyond my control. And now this morning I was in a good place. And it wasn't until I consciously started thinking, why aren't I upset? Think about the relationship and the heartbreak and blah, blah, blah. And as soon as I told myself to think about that, I did. I could feel it. And that means that if I'm starting to have control over it, if these thoughts are getting less intrusive and invasive and beyond my control, if it's at a point where I have control, then I'm not going to think about it. But I hope you don't feel let down that B-Rad has had a drink. Maybe say a few weeks ago I needed to tell myself that 6 months no alcohol, I'm Bradley, I'm indestructible, I'm super powerful, this is how strong I am, and maybe that got me through the worst patches. Having the power to not drink really empowered me to the point where I felt powerful enough to have a drink and ruin that 6 month journey, as it were. But it's far from ruined. I think this is Bradley 5.0, 10.0, whatever version I am now, how many times I've grown in big steps in my life. I want to be strong, fit, healthy as a constant, not for 1 month or for 3 months and then disappear. That should just be me. So how many years I went into this YouTube channel, it's taken me that long to realise it, maybe it's taken me this to realise it, or feel it. Everything happens for a reason. If anyone says that, they're going to get a slap. No. No, every family, friends, everyone says that. And it's not that everything happens for a reason, but you make a reason for it. If that makes sense? I'll go back to a quote from one of my old YouTube videos. How can I make this work for me? And unintentionally, by going on this journey, failing at the 6 month journey that I set myself and gauging my reaction to it, that's eye-opening and enlightening in itself. And now these new thoughts I'm having about my progress and my life and moving forward, and that is I'm unbelievable, the change in the videos over these past couple of weeks. And I'm under no illusions that at this drop of a hat I'm in a good place right now and I'm looking forward. Things aren't suddenly rosy and I'm over it and I'm fine, I'm dandy and hooray, I'm at peace. But I'm feeling closer to peace than I have in a little while, and I can be happy with that. And the fact that I am looking forward so much, looking to my future, these are incredibly positive and powerful things. Time to quit my jibber jabber, eat this banana, eat a bit of chicken, have some water, and go for a hike. Bradley's strong! My mum knows how excited I was, so when I was here before, I was a bit lower a few weeks ago, she was leaving notes saying Rammstein all over the house. But when she first did it, she spelled it wrong. She had one M, so there were all these Rammstein notes around the house spelled wrong, and that's just wonderful. I'm very lucky to have such a lovely family. Yeah. Tell your parents you love them. I listened to the Rammstein album once through, and then I just took my headphones off. Hear the birds, hear nothing, just hear the world. What a glorious day. Let's get stepping, little hobbit. The sun is beating down today, getting a bit of vitamin D in me. Pepsi Max. There is not a cloud in the sky. Let's keep walking. So I did it. Took a few hours. Got here, just had a pret. I had some salmon, egg, avocado, black coffee and an apple. Refueled. I was present most of the walk. Few, say, intrusive thoughts, but let them be for a second. They disappeared and carried on. Okay, tripod fixing time. Let's see if I can do this and don't have to buy a new tripod. All about keeping busy. Job done, £2 fix, not new tripod.
Nice.
Yeah, really. Glorious day, so taking myself to a beer garden. Non-alcoholic, I just thought I've earned a cold beer, if it's non-alcoholic, in the sun. I won't be drinking as a default now, I'm not just suddenly, oh yeah, I'm going to be drinking, whatever. But seeing friends throughout next month, going to Rammstein in July, yeah, I will be having a drink then. But the diet and the training will still be effing intense. Just like my Canada vlog, if you saw that, or I just started chatting with those guys that are under the bridge, if you heard at the end of the last sort of cut, where I just fixed my tripod, somebody laughed next to me, someone sat down on the bench to have a cigarette on his work break. A guy called Chris, hello Chris, lovely bloke, we had a good chat. We started talking about the teachings of the Buddha. We had a fantastic chat about life, about our journeys, and that is just, I've got energy in life to share, and I want to get out there and do things, and that just sort of highlights it for me, and I can't believe that that's stopped now for well over a month because of what's happened to me. I guess you can't control it. I could have stayed in bed today, not done anything. That would have been easy. Inactivity is the silent killer. Activity is being present and doing something. I'm feeling like I'm dealing with this and I'm letting my emotions out, but my spiritual battery, my soul, I feel like it's beginning to recharge. Just to think, a couple of days ago, I was in that hotel room alone, crying, distraught. But this morning on my walk, I wasn't in a bad place. I was living life and I was at peace with Bradley without forcing it, without having to force it. I hope to say I want to cling to these feelings, but that's not how emotions work. I am going to edit this video, upload it, and just for proof for me, if I go downhill a little bit after this now, I'm going to watch this video and remind myself you can be at peace with yourself. This is a massive, massive step for me. So that emotional pendulum I've been on of numbness and pain, I can now add a middle setting at rest in there of being at peace with Bradley. And that is where we need to be, or at least know that that exists when times do get hard. The table's wobbling, and they've just started building works around the corner. Okay, I'm going to enjoy my non-alcoholic beer, and I will see you later. Good morning, coffee. So yesterday I had a productive and good day, and then woke up this morning and felt dreadful. The mornings are the worst. And I think it's because I will be going back today and I don't have plans. But I mean, I do have the gym, so when I get back I'm going to go to the gym. I'm travelling away again tomorrow, so I do actually have plans, but I think it's that it's actual life, whereas coming away to see family and coming here and going for a walk, it's been in the back of my brain like a holiday, a getaway. Yes, that is an escape from the day to day, but then it made me feel good, so that is a good thing. Like yesterday I knew how high on life I was feeling. I was ready for it to come down a little bit. I'm not low, but I'm just, your thoughts go round a little bit. I've just got to think that I can be at peace. I felt that and I can feel that again. I just want to sit here and listen to the birds. Nature and wildlife really is calming and brings you back down to earth. Oh, I filmed something, I'll show you. There are little foxes now in the back of my parents, baby foxes, and we saw them, we all stood together and we watched the little foxes sneak out and get some food. That was nice. I'll end the video then with my thoughts. I've been doing a lot of thinking. There's a difference between thinking and torturing yourself and getting upset and working through issues. I prefer being in a relationship. I've enjoyed single life, I've written books about single life, but for me, ever since I was a kid, I always wanted like a home and a wife. It's a security or stability thing, or I want to be loved and love someone back. You can say, oh, it stems from childhood issues or whatever, you can always, but you can do that with anything who wants or likes certain things. I've just always preferred the thought of having a relationship. Actually, I think my dad said I was 6 years old, and I asked him, I said, oh Dad, when will I know when to get married? And he was in the army, I think. Oh no, I think he'd left the army at that point. But he was just freaked out. He sort of asked my mum. Yeah, so that was like, I was a weird little kid. And I've been aware of it. This is just like a massive reminder of that. And I have to be so careful because I will love completely. And I think you can do that without surrendering yourself and your power and your life. I think it's because of where I was in a more vulnerable place maybe, and that's why this has hit me so hard, and that's why I'm not just like diving back into single life. I've done that before, and also it's not my first rodeo. I partied hardy and drank a load of drink and got out there, and yeah, in the moment you'd have a bit of fun, but then you'd hate myself the next day and I'd be racked with just guilt and embarrassment. So I'm not there right now. I know it's nice to think that I know myself and understand what I like and why I need to have like sort of alarm bells and red flags to keep an eye on myself and how I'm reacting. It's because, is this going to happen again in the future? Am I going to get in a relationship, invent a fantasy because I want it so badly, and then get hurt? When I'm back to my usual self, I'll be able to relax again. But then I don't want to relax so much I become complacent, distracted, or let my guard down and surrender my power so much. I know objectively a relationship is just two people sharing their journeys with like a kindred spirit, and that's what it is. But then I say that, but then something deeper happens to me, and I don't know why. People are wired differently. Some people like coffee, some people don't. Some people love going for walks, some people don't. Some people like fast cars, some people don't drive. It's a very full, rich, varied tapestry of life, and I have to feel comfortable with my little strands I'm weaving at the moment before I try weaving myself in with anyone else. That's quite poetic. Let's end there. I'm gonna go home, gym, edit a YouTube video, travel away tomorrow, be alone in a hotel, and if it gets dark, I'm gonna think of the good times I've had in this video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully there's something here you can see. Yourself maybe on a journey of recovery. You can see that I'm smiling. I have smiled. Rock and roll. Look after yourselves. Take care. And be rad.